Constitutional amendment and accompanying legislation that creates a new trust fund for $3 billion worth of high-priority mega projects across the state of Louisiana. Also, the funding instruments to pay for that. Its purpose is really twofold. First of all, it's economic development. If we invest $1 billion a year into our infrastructure system, we know we'll create 25 or 30,000 new jobs. Conversely, if we reduce investment by that amount, we'll lose those jobs. That's where we are right now. Our construction industry is laying off left and right because there is no more highway and bridge construction to speak of going on in Louisiana. All of these projects have been wrapping up. But secondly, and equally and perhaps more importantly, is the fact that we have this massive backlog of much needed projects across the state, particularly in our larger cities where we have just huge congestion, we have air problems, we have lane problems. I don't have to tell you, for an example, if you're here in Baton Rouge, you know that at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and at 7:38 in the morning, you can't move through this city on I-10. It just comes to a complete halt. We're trying to address that issue and similar issues all across the state with major projects. This is a use it or lose it type legislation. In other words, all these projects have to be finished or under construction within 5 years. And so it'll be it'll make a world of difference. It'll free up a long list, 40 different major projects across the state, that when we get them out of the way, there's going to be opportunities for a number of other projects as well to come on up the list.
I think it's the difference between a lot of construction layoffs in the state. I know of some contractors who have already laid off 500 employees. What this bill equates to is either we grow 26,000 construction jobs with this program or we lose 26,000 jobs. That's what it's about from the perspective of the construction industry.
It would be funded through an increase in the private vehicle registration fee and an increase in the commercial vehicle registration fee. These are user fees. That's their purpose, to use the roads. That's how you know, the only reason you have roads is because you have cars and trucks that run on them. These are user fees. It's the appropriate tool to consider using to pay for your roads.
How are highway construction projects currently funded in Louisiana?
Well, currently, the only way that they're being funded is through the 16-cent gasoline tax that was passed back in 1982. Plus, once in a while, you get a little capital outlay project to build a project. But the only tool available today to build new projects in Louisiana is the 16-cent fixed fuel tax. You may say, well, what about the time program? Time is complete. It's been built. It's been finished with one or two exceptions, but and so it's being paid for now, and it's created 1,000 new miles of north-south lanes that have really tied the state together. But that's over with. We aren't building those projects any longer.
How does the 16-cent gasoline tax stack up with other states in terms of funding their highways?
Oh, somewhere right in the middle. Quite a number of states are in and around the same charge that the state of Louisiana has. There are several that are higher, a few, very few, that are lower.
What would you like people to keep in mind when it comes to time for this bill to be debated?
Well, just to look at at what we're going to do, the projects that we're going to build in your area and around the state. Look at what it's really going to cost you individually and decide, is that a price I'm willing to pay to dramatically improve the highway and bridge infrastructure of the state of Louisiana so that I can move about freely, commerce can move about freely, my family and others can move about freely.